With Mars being a planet and energy which gets exalted in a sign ruled by Saturn, which is Capricorn, and Saturn being a planet and energy which gets debilitated in a sign Aries ruled by Mars, the dynamics of when Mars gets into different houses from Saturn is very important for us to understand in our respective horoscopes.
Please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my latest video has come. And to learn more and to find a video relevant to you, please do check out my videos list.
Hello, namaskar and adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan. Once more with you from your very own channel, Astro Assurance. We have been doing this series of planets from planets. In that light, we have already done planets placed in different houses from the moon and an entire series of planets placed in different houses from Rahu. We have just started the series of different planets in different houses from Saturn. We have covered Venus, Jupiter, so far, and Sun also so far, and today we are going to talk about the placement of the planet or the energy Mars in different houses from Saturn. Now remember that Mars is an energy of go-getting, achieving, or rushing into things. Saturn is a planet of slowness, reduced energy, practical decisions, thought through decisions. So the dynamics is such that Mars wants to rush into things, whereas Saturn wants to slow down. So when Mars gets into different houses from Saturn, it borrows the energy of Saturn to get the results from that number of houses from Saturn. On the other hand, Saturn will try and slow down the results of Mars, asking the person to think through before rushing into dangers, rushing into any activities, rushing into any responsibilities. So let's see how Mars plays in different houses from Saturn in your horoscope will throw up different possibilities for you, different permutations and combinations for you. Now when Mars is in the first house from Saturn or conjunct with Saturn. Now what is Saturn? Saturn is an energy of distress. It is also a follower. And Saturn is also an energy of service, commitment, being loyal, working hard, being very dedicated, a very structured oriented energy, somebody who can be very organized. Saturn also brings a certain degree of results to your career apart from your 10th house. It is also your karma. It is also the lowest strata of society and how you're working with them, the people who work right below you. It is also about helping others. It's teamwork, it's stability, it's also slowness, it's stagnation. So it's a number of energies in your horoscope. Now, if Mars is going into certain houses from Saturn or being one with Saturn, that means they are both in the, say for example, first house from each other or in the first house. Which means, yeah, for the respective area of that house, we are looking at what are the life goals you are seeking from that house, what is the status in society you're trying to achieve from that particular house, what is your dignity, what is your confidence, what is your health, your purpose, your overall well-being, your thinking capability, success that you want to achieve in life, your achievements. What on the other hand is the Martian energy. Martian energy is of the general who fights for the king, the sun. It's your fighting ability, it's your killer instinct. It is also your goal getting, it is your competitiveness or competition that you will face and overpower them. It's your willpower, it's your motivation. It is also strategizing to be able to get the results. It also denotes power struggles on the flip side. It also enforces rules on others. It is also about rushing into things and losing interest very quickly. It is also your well-being, your sharpness, your temper, your anger, problem solving and so on. So when they get conjunct, so now though I have done a very detailed Mars and Saturn conjunction already earlier, but now that we are on the topic of the number of houses Mars is from Saturn, so let's talk a little bit about Mars being conjunct with Saturn also. So yeah, when Mars and Saturn are coming together, this denotes the achiever energy of Mars, but at the same time, the hardworking, the dedicated, the committed energy of Saturn as well. So what do? They create a powerful drive for achievement where Saturn is saying, let's work hard to achieve things. Mars on the other side is saying, let's be an achiever. Let's have this killer instinct to be able to get things or gets results. So that's why this energy is a powerful energy, but there is a yin and yang. Saturn is trying to slow you down, asking you not to rush into things, whereas Mars wants to rush into things. So this is an individual who is very hardworking, who's very focused, who is disciplined, will also readily put in the effort to be able to go and get results. At the same time, because of the yin yang energies, Saturn trying to delay things, the person may also face obstacles, they also face delays, so there may be a lot of frustration which creeps in. So the person is required to be patient and it will be resilient over a period of time. This is also energy where Saturn will put in certain degrees of limitations, hurdles, obstacles, slows you down, whereas Mars wants to overcome those limitations. So this energy of coming together will also indicate on one side challenges but frustrations. Saturn's influence may reduce Mars' natural drive to succeed, leading to frustration or delays, whereas the individual may encounter setbacks also. And so it's important that the individual is very patient, perseveres, plans carefully before rushing into things. So if the person is not a careful planner, the Saturn brings in, then Saturn will slow down results, not allow you results. So it is also about careful planning before you do things so that you can overcome results. Third thing that also brings in is this energy also brings in a lot of assertiveness with the person, but with a lot of discipline which Saturn brings in. So this is a person who will have a strong drive for achievement, strong ambition, but will channel it very methodically. They will set realistic goals, they will develop their long-term strategies, and they will also work steadily towards objectives, making them capable of getting long-lasting success over a period of time. So a very solid foundation that they need. So overall, Mars placed in different houses from Saturn, here we are talking about conjunct with Saturn or one with Saturn, will bring in the yin yang energy. So if you have Mars and Saturn conjunct in your horoscope, this is an energy where you have to be careful of where you're heading, but you're also heading with a lot of drive, careful planning, careful dedication, and a lot of commitment with this energy. Now when Mars is in the second house from Saturn, so Saturn's energy of being a follower, somebody who wants to do service, somebody who's very committed, somebody who's very loyal, hardworking, a structured person, very organized person, one will also follow their career, focus on their karma, stability, helping people, stagnation, all will come in. What is the second house? The second house is your values, it is your integrity, it is your tribe, your community, it is your dependence, it is your earnings, it is your livelihood, savings, it is also your nourishment, it is also the spoken language. And what is Mars? Mars is the general who has the fighting ability to be able to go and get results. It is your killer instinct, it is also your goal-getting ability, it is overcoming competition, it is power struggles, it is enforcing rules on others, it is also loss of your interest, it is your well-being, sharpness, it is your killer instinct, it is also your temper and anger. So when Mars is in the second house from Saturn, one side, Mars wants you to focus on your earnings, your savings, and wants to go and get it. But Saturn says that, hang on, Saturn doesn't want to rush into spending. So Saturn wants you to hold back spending, holds back overspending, which Mars may want you to indulge in. So with this energy, sometimes you have to be able to do a lot of balancing in how much you're spending, how much you're saving also. So sometimes Mars in the second house can bring in financial challenges because on one side you're rushing into expenses, but Saturn is giving you the focus that, okay, hang on, you have to save. So the person will spend and then feel frustrated. Where is my money going? Why am I not able to save? So this also indicates fluctuations, difficulty in saving, sometimes impulsive spending also, which leads to instability. This also is about learning financial discipline before you spend and learning patience so that you are able to overcome these issues. Here it is also about, because the second house is also your language, this is also about Mars saying things in a hurry without thinking sometimes, whereas Saturn says, hang on, be careful of what you say. So there may be communication issues which may arise. There may also be aggressiveness or aggression in the person or the individual, which may eventually lead to problems, challenges, conflicts, misunderstandings with the other person. This is also about developing diplomatic and tactful communication while also knowing that it is important that you maintain positive relationships. On the other hand, this is also energy where, because the second house is also your values, your principles, so sometimes there may be a clash of values between you and somebody else. Mars says focus on your values, focus on the principles. However, sometimes you may not hesitate to move away slightly from it because of the killer instinct to drive to achieve. So sometimes you may want to compromise a bit your values and principles to be able to achieve it. But Saturn says rules, regulation, boundaries are important. So this is a placement which indicates conflicts or tensions sometimes within the family, or struggles which is aligning your personal values with those of the family members. So there may be a conflict there may be a challenge there. So this individual may need to assert independence or establish boundaries with others, but also respecting other people's values, other people's principles, other people's boundaries also. So this is about cultivating patience, understanding, and assertiveness is the key to overcoming the negative dynamics within the family, within the house, within the community, and to focus on being more financially independent but also disciplined. Now, when Mars goes into the third house from Saturn, so what is Saturn? Saturn is your distress. It is about being a follower. It is your service. It is your commitment. It is your loyalty. It is about slowness. It's about stability. It's also about your social causes that you're focusing on, societal norms. Whereas what is the third house? The third house, your communication, your effort, your self-enterprise, your ability to influence people, your ability to market. It is also branding. It is the use of your limbs. It is arts. It is also about teaching, communicating to others, sending across a message. And so, what is Mars? Mars is your fighting ability. Mars is the general fighting for the king. The sun is about goal getting. It is power struggles. It is also willpower. It is also about enforcing rules on others. It will also be on the flip side, sharpness, temper, anger. But it is also about healing. It's also about problem solving. So when Mars goes into the third house from Saturn, on one side, communication becomes the key because Mars has gone into the third house, which means the person will sometimes be somebody who may say things, do things, rush into things, or put in effort without thinking much. So, what is Saturn? Saturn says you need to be more disciplined. Think before you say. So, this is the placement which on one hand will bring about a bold and direct communication style. Person will say what the person wants to say. And the person will do very well in expressing the ideas with a lot of confidence. This person can also argue, can be somebody who wants to debate. Somebody with Mars in the third house from Saturn may be a good debater. They will have a lot of clarity and assertiveness also in how they talk, and they will learn discipline of what to say, what not to say over a period of time, and sometimes the hard way. This placement also brings in about a lot of learning ability, but also a lot of competitive spirit in the person, because it is the third house of effort. But the third house is also your siblings, they are also your neighbors. So this is a competitive energy which will fuel your intellectual drive, which will make you a lot of proactive learners. So you also learn over a period of time to learn to deal with your siblings, your poor close neighbors. Many times this can also mean you have more brothers than sisters, and this could also mean that you are very assertive in your communication. You have a lot of competitive spirit also. This is also a person who will acquire a lot of knowledge very passionately, but managing their impatience is something which will have to work hard over a period of time. But this is also a placement where the person may want to have more independence in how they work, independence in how they're able to influence people. So strong placement, discipline, dedicated effort over a period of time. And Mars in the third house from Saturn will also bring in a lot of natural curiosity and a desire to learn. So this person will be very energetic, very enthusiastic. They will have short journeys, maybe in the neighborhood, or goes to places, but also wants to learn. And this is also brings a lot of mental agility. However, this is also about balancing your personal drive and discipline and avoiding rash or impulsiveness in the learning process, and where to go, what to say, what to do, how to influence people, and how to be able to give what you want to give to others in your contribution and in the learning experience as a care. Now, when Mars is in the fourth house from Saturn, what is the fourth house? The fourth house is your assets, your domestic life, the happiness, your peace, your tranquility, the satisfaction in life. It is your mother. It is also your emotions. It's your harmony. It's your empathy. What is Saturn? Saturn is distress. It's followership. It is commitment. It is your loyalty. It is your hard work. It is also your career. It is your karma. It is also the low strata of society. It is also stagnation and social causes and being able to handle social norms, working within boundaries. What is Mars on the other hand? Mars is your fighting ability. Mars is your killer instinct. Mars is goal getting, competition, motivation, your ability to strategize, overcome power struggles, enforcing rules or regulations on others. Sometimes it is also your loss of interest, but it may also be getting angry and getting into temper situation. But it also brings a lot of sharpness and problem solving skills. So when Mars goes into the fourth house from Saturn, on one side, it may bring in a lot of the family dynamics into play. Now, usually Mars in the fourth house is also seen as a Mangal dosha, of being a Manglik. But here we are not talking about actual fourth house, but fourth from Saturn. So the domestic issues connected to that house, there may be certain dynamics which will obviously be influenced. So for that house, there may be certain family dynamics which will come into play. Family may become an involved person there. For example, if Saturn is in the second house and Mars goes into the fifth house, then what may happen is about your children, your family, extended family, or your parents may also want to push you. When are you having children? Why do you do this with children? About your assets related to the fifth house, your investments, family may also get involved. Family will also tell you, do this, do that. So that energy will also come into the play. And because this is also about home improvement, it is also about what kind of environment that you're bringing, an energetic environment that you're bringing. So this person will bring a lot of energy at home, will be very involved, will also look at how do I improve my living space? How do I have a very active environment where things are happening, where things are jovial, things are always on the move, things are dynamic. There will always be some interplay happening, something or the other is happening at home, or some changes are happening at home every now and then. But this is a person who will also have to learn to deal with the power struggles that he or she has with the family and try to maintain peace. This person may also enjoy a lot of physical activities, may also enjoy sports within their own home. So there may be games which are being played at home, Scrabble or something or the other is happening, movies are being played, some activity, some fun thing is always happening. However, this is also a placement where your emotional expression and temperament also comes into the play every now and then, where the temper may be fiery, then there may be a tendency or anger towards family, towards spouse, towards children also. So yeah, over a period of time, the person will have to learn to develop emotional maturity and also a self-awareness. So they are able to manage your emotions and create a more stable environment at home, especially the emotional environment at home. Now, when Mars goes into the fifth house from Saturn, what is the fifth house? It is your education, it's your romance, it is what one likes, what your interests are, upheavals, specifically connected to career, because fifth house is the eighth house from the 10th house. It's your finances, it's your speculative investments, power struggle, media, the stage, performances, and so forth. What is Mars? Mars is your fighting ability, it is your killer instinct, it is goal getting, it is competition, it is your sharpness, but it may also bring in the temper and anger and problem solving and healing at the same time. But it is also your motivation. It is also about how to strategize, but it could also be quick loss of interest. So when Mars now goes into this is the fifth house from Saturn. What is the fifth house? This is also creativity. But what is Mars? Mars is also the boldness. So this will bring in a lot of bold creativity into the individual. So this planetary influence will also fuel a lot of dynamism and a lot of assertive approach to creative endeavors. So whenever you want to, for example, you want to paint, you want to do something, you will do it without thinking too much, without planning too much. Just go ahead and do the brushes. But then later on, you will stand back and say, oh, I don't like this. I didn't do this right. I didn't do this well. This color combination wasn't so good. Sometimes you may start a project and leave it midway also. So this is an individual who possesses a lot of abundance of energy and drive, ready to take risks on the world stage, wants to express themselves artistically, look at new avenues also to express artistically. But because it is the fifth from Saturn, this is also about getting somebody or falling in romance with somebody connected to that house. If say for example Saturn is in the third house, Mars is in the sixth house, then connected to career you may find somebody connected to somebody who's in the neighborhood, or who you're influenced with, or you are introduced with, connected to work or connected to somebody from work. You may also meet the person. So here the person will also seek a lot of excitement and stimulation in love. They fall in love very quickly, but they also will indulge in a lot of activities in love. It's not only about the intimacy activities, but they will want to do something like, let's go for hiking, let's do this, let's go for a movie. They will want to do something or the other. They will not want to just sit back quietly and enjoy siesta with their partner. So there's always something happening. Sometimes they'll suddenly feel, no, I don't want to do anything. For the next 3, 4, 5 days, I don't do anything. So this is that yin and yang energy where sometimes they rush into doing things. Sometimes they want to just sit back and do nothing. So this is very passionate energy, but this is also a very fiery connection with a lot of stability, which also brings in, but which you'll have to work over a period of time. This will also bring in a lot of competitive drive within you with your partner also. So sometimes you're competing. If your partner gets, say for example, better salary than you, then you also feel a little jealous. You also want to do better. And this also fuels you to be able to do better. These people will excel in activities, in leadership roles. They will also assert their authority in leadership roles, and they will be very good at taking care of projects. This is also a placement where the person will, if at all they feel they have a problem at work, they will also be one of the first people to either solve it, to take the problem head on, or to quit as soon as possible, find some other avenues as well. Now when Mars goes into the 6th house from Saturn, what is Saturn? Saturn is your service, your commitment, your loyalty, your hard work, your dedication, your structure, your organization. It is also stagnation, looking at social causes and so forth. What is the 6th house? The 6th house is the service, being in competition, sicknesses, your debts, your loans, court cases, for example, working under somebody, inimical forces which are working behind your back, day-to-day activities, and also your ability to be able to do your things in a competitive environment with dedication and service. What is Mars on the other hand? Mars is your power struggles, Mars is goal getting, the killer instinct, your fire ability, the ability to be able to overcome competition. This is also about losing your interest quickly, but it is also your well-being. It is also sometimes getting into problem situation because your anger, your temper, but it is also about being sharp, also about problem solving and healing. So now when Mars goes into the 6th house from Saturn, this brings a lot of career influence into the person. This is the placement where the person will work very hard to overcome competition at work and over a period of time achieve success with clear dedication, a lot of self-enterprise as well. So this can be an energy with Mars being focused with a lot of energy, somebody who is very workaholic, because it is the 6th house from Saturn, wants to serve and has the focus there to be able to do a lot of work. So this person can be a little workaholic, as I said, and has a lot of powerful drive and determination to be able to do even day-to-day activities. The person is very highly focused, can be very disciplined and dedicated, will be very efficient in doing their things, will excel in roles, will require very meticulous attention, like lawyers looking at how to build a case, look at nitties and gritties, they will look at the smallest of information so that they are able to defend their client. This also brings a lot of strong organizational skills. This is a person, because it is the 6th house from Saturn, so fitness is also important. Health is also very important. So this can also be a person who is very enthusiastic in their fitnesses. So this person can have a very strong emphasis on their health and fitness. The individual may actively maintain their well-being, enjoy activities which promote their vitality, sports, play some games, play badminton, play tennis, something which will keep them stimulated, or going to the gym they will be doing, or even walking, for example. But there is some degree of health consciousness which is there. These people will also have a lot of competitive streak in their fitness goals. I want to do better than the other. I want to reduce my weight in such time. I want to finish so many steps. The person will be looking at their app in the phone where they're getting the number of steps they have walked that day, will compare it with their colleague. So they will also bring in that competitive energy in how they are able to focus on their physical health and physical the limitations also. This is also a person who will have a lot of assertiveness at the workplace. So sometimes one has to be careful how you're dealing with subordinates. This position can also suggest that there may be potential conflicts or power struggles at work, sometimes with even your colleagues, for example. So this individual may encounter challenges with sometimes authority or who they're working with below or with their colleagues, and they may require to assert themselves to be able to overcome the competition, because Mars is in the 6th from Saturn. But they may also thrive in competitive work settings where they can demonstrate their skills and their abilities. Now, when Mars goes into the 7th house from Saturn, what is the 7th house? It is your relations, your connections, it is teamwork, it is about business, it's about balance, it is your married life, but it is also your expectations from others. And what is Saturn? Saturn is your distress, your commitment, your loyalty, your hard work, structure, organized effort. It is your karma, it is your career, it is about the lowest strata of society and how you deal with them, teamwork, how you focus on social causes, slowness, stagnation at work also, or in general life. What is Mars? Mars is the general with the fighting ability. It is also about goal getting, competitive energy, killer instinct, how you're strategizing, what's your willpower and motivation. It is also anger and problem solving issues, but it is also being very sharp, having a lot of healing energy, but maybe with a little temper also thrown in. Now, when Mars goes into the 7th from Saturn, which means Saturn is also 7th from Mars, they are both looking at each other. So if, for example, Mars is in the 2nd house, Saturn obviously should be in the 8th house. If Saturn is in the Lagna, Mars is in the 7th house. Saturn is in the 10th house, then Mars is in the 4th house. So they are directly looking at each other. It becomes even more potent energy when the degree difference between the two is not very high. For example, if Mars is at 4 degrees, Saturn is at say 1 or 2 degrees, or 7 or 8 or 9 degrees, but not more. So this is a placement of a lot of fiery partnerships, because they're both looking at each other. So they're trying to balance the energy of partnership also, because here it is going 7th from Saturn. 7th house is the partnership. So this placement signifies a dynamic approach to partnership. The person will assert their individuality, also be wanting to be very separate from their partners or express themselves for what they need. However, Saturn, on the other hand, focusing on Mars is slow down. You're not so independent. We have to do things together. So sometimes they want to do things completely on their own. Sometimes they want to go with their partner to do things. So they will try to keep the balance, or the partner will try to enforce balance on them, saying, hey, that last time we did this, we are not doing this, now we are doing this. And yeah, the person has to give it. But there will also be these power struggles with the partner. But if there is healthy competition, then even better for the two people, because there will also be a lot of mutual respect. Though some occasional power struggle between the two people will also happen, but the person will surely want to have a lot more freedom, a lot of autonomy in how they make their decisions, how they lead their life, even in a partnership. So Mars in the 7th house will also bring in a lot of passion and enthusiasm to collaborations with the partner. The person will thrive in partnerships, requiring initiative, requiring leadership, and this person will be very decisive in action. Sometimes even later on may not like what they have done. So they will be drawn into projects that involve a little bit of risk taking and challenging the status quo also. However, this is also a placement where you have to manage conflict better, because there may be anger issues, anger management issues, being too assertive, too impulsive, sometimes getting into the relations very quickly, sometimes wanting to get out of relations very quickly. But if very balanced energy is brought to the table through a more considerate approach by the person, then this can be a very stable, very passionate energy in the relationship, but you have to surely navigate your relationship better. Now, when Mars is in the 8th house from Saturn, what is Mars? Mars is the fighting ability, your killer instinct, it is goal getting, it is competition, it is your well-being, it is problem solving, it is also power struggles, it is temper, it is anger. What is the 8th house? 8th house from Saturn is also your upheavals, your transformations, ability to overcome obstacles, your sexuality, inheritance, government, virtual things, the metaverse, for example. What is Saturn? Saturn is the stress, Saturn is commitment, it is organized effort, it is hard work, it is dedication, it is slowness, it is stagnation, it is working hard to overcome challenges, stability. So when Mars goes into the 8th house from Saturn, this is a very transformative energy, and the person is seeking transformation from time to time, seeking change from time to time, or dealing with change and transformation from time to time thrown at the person by the zodiac. So this placement signifies a deep desire for personal transformation, and it has a lot of fascination with life's different mysteries. This person will possess a lot of intense energy and will also be drawn to delve into the subconscious. They will also look into occult studies. They also want to uncover hidden aspects of existence as well. But this will also bring in a lot of power play in the equation, because Mars is 8th from Saturn, so there will also be a lot of upheavals, ups and downs in the relationship also, which the person has to be very careful of how they are managing. Mars in the 8th house will also suggest a lot of intense dynamics and power struggles within the relationship also with the person. And this also will bring a lot of sexual desire for the person and lot of strong emotional connection that you have. Of course, there will be control issues also. There may also be a little jealousy and manipulation also to do that. However, this can also be because Mars is in the 8th house. So financially, the person will also have to go through ups and downs. It is like being in a financial roller coaster or something. So this placement of Mars 8th from Saturn can indicate potential for financial transformation after going through challenges, and then the person transform how they think, how they look at their investments, how they look at their finances, how they look at their inheritance, how do they look at their ventures. But they may also get into ventures which have high risk but high reward elsewhere. So this is the placement where they have to approach finances with a lot of caution and also develop a very healthy relationship with their finances, with their money. Now, when Mars is in the 9th house from Saturn, what is the 9th house? It is your high learning, it is your qualification, it is learning through experiences, it is your gurus, it is your long distance travel, it is with dealing with people from different cultures, it is your gains, it is also your fatal luck. It is also about how you are able to travel long distance to acquire new learning also. What is Mars? Mars is the general, it is your fighting instinct, it is your competitive energy, it is about enforcing rules, it is about your self-power, willpower, it's also about your motivation, but it can also bring in it is also your anger, your temper, healing energies, problem-solving energies. But what is Saturn? Saturn is being loyal, hardworking, committed, organized energy, helping others, stability and so on. So when Mars goes into the 9th house from Saturn, now remember this is a 9-5 relationship between Saturn and Mars. So overall this is good energy, and this will force you to bring a lot of balance to be able to get higher gain. This is one of the very strong gain bringing energy if you're able to balance the energies of drive on one side and dedication and commitment on the other. So this is a placement which fuels a lot of desire to explore, to go out, to adventure, to seek intellectual pursuits. The individual will possess a lot of bold and adventurous spirit also, will seek different kinds of experiences. They will want to broaden their horizon, but it is also a place where they want to challenge their beliefs, or their beliefs will be challenged by situations from time to time. They will be drawn to travel, to higher education, even higher education connected to, say, for example, spiritual studies, philosophy. They will want to explore diverse cultures, ideas, different belief systems, and so on. So this is sometimes also brings in a clash of ideals of how you bring or think about different situations. So Mars in the 9th from Saturn can also bring in a conflict or challenges connected to your belief system, your philosophy, your approach in life, how you're looking at life, how you're looking at life's experiences, how you're managing life through your higher experiential learning. So this individual may be very passionate about their views and will want to readily engage in debates to defend their beliefs also. They may also experience some internal struggles within themselves, wanting a lot of independence, but also having a lot of sense of duty for the traditions, towards the beliefs also. And with also authority figures, sometimes challenges even with the gurus, with the teachers. There will be at least one teacher in your life with whom you'll have a lot of problem with. But there will also be a mentor who will also bring a lot of stability in your life, who you can approach from time to time. So this is the placement which indicates that you may have some battles, upheavals also, maybe related to legal matters. This could also be some setbacks, initial setbacks while you want to do, but Saturn is holding you back, for example, to travel for education, to travel for things. Plans last minute may not work out. So there may be challenges with authority figures, with the legal system, with institutions also. So there sometimes you have to assert yourself to fight for your rights, but sometimes also step back and look at something which is very more planned approach rather than rushing into things. So overall, this is approach where you have to seek a little wise counsel from time to time, but be very cautious what you're rushing into and how you're navigating potential difficulties. Now, when Mars is in the 10th house from Saturn, which means Saturn is now 4th from Mars, so which means they are in Kendra from each other. So what is Saturn? Saturn is your commitment, your loyalty, your hard work, being a follower, distress in life, slowness, but through organized effort, doing very well, your karma. It is also about being stagnated from time to time. It is also about contributing to social causes, societal norms, and so forth. What is Mars? Mars is your fighting ability, your killer instinct, your willpower, struggles, enforcing rules on others, the temper and anger also, but problem solving, healing energy. It's also your well-being. It is also your ability to be able to have the killer instinct to get good. What is the 10th house? 10th from Saturn, very, very importantly, is because Saturn is also your karma. So it is your career, it is how you are dealing with authority at work, your reputation at work, your dedication, your discipline, your rapport with superiors. It is about which industry you're working. Through hard work, you're able to do very well. And this is also overall your approach to work. So now when Saturn, when Mars is in the 10th house from Saturn, or one house, what it does is it brings a lot of focus and attention to work, because Mars is in the 10th house. So this person wants to work hard, will rush into things, or want to do very well in projects given to the person, will always be on the go, this happening or that happening, or doing this or doing that, focused on work. But if the work is not very positive, if the work is not very fruitful or giving back or bringing in gains also, so the person, or even interesting enough, the person will also lose their interest very quickly. So this is surely a placement where, on the one hand, this signifies strong drive and ambition for potential success. The person may be highly motivated, pursuing the goals with determination, but perseverance is important here. These people may also excel in leadership roles, in entrepreneurship, or positions where they have a lot of authority over, they can assert their independence also. This is also a person who will bring a lot of ethical energy into their work. So a lot of strong work ethics will also be there, with a lot of focus on productivity to be able to do better, to be able to get higher results also. So the person will put in a lot of hard work, required for career advancement, required for recognition, required for acknowledgement also. So sometimes there will also be this friction with superiors, which happens from time to time. They thrive in challenging environments, if at all they give growth opportunities as well, so that this person will do best where they have an ability to demonstrate their skills and abilities. On the other hand, this will also bring in some potential conflicts with seniors, because they are not able to have the tact and the diplomatic ability. So from time to time, they will face challenges from authority who these people think they don't recognize them. So it's important for them, while they manage their assertiveness, but they also control their temper and their competitive nature, so that they avoid unnecessary conflicts and maintain a positive working relationship with everyone. Now when Mars goes into the 11th house from Saturn, which means Saturn is in the 3rd house from Mars. So this is an energy where your wishes and desires, which the 11th house represents, will come through with a lot of effort, dedication, commitment. But because Saturn is 3rd from Mars, which means a lot more effort is required to be able to get or extract better results. So what is Saturn? It is your commitment, your loyalty, your hard work, your organized effort, your karma, stagnation, slowness, stability, and so on. What is Mars? Mars is your fighting ability, it is your motivation, it is your killer instinct, it is power struggles, it is enforcing rules on others, it is also your well-being, also a temper and anger, but it's a lot of problem solving and healing ability also. What is the 11th house? 11th house is your social connections, your social network, your friends, the larger society, working in larger organizations, working for larger brands, working for larger social causes as well. This is also wishes and desires. This is also about masses and your status and role in large organizations. So when Mars goes into the 11th house from Saturn, this can be a person who wants to develop relations, who wants to develop social network, because the person on one hand wants to have good connections with people, is social, but also knows that societal connections are also very, very helpful. So this placement will signify a lot of proactive approach to social involvement. The individual will actively involve in group activities, in causes, larger causes for society, and then will rush into sometimes doing things for or projects which they get a lot of interest, or do something for society or societal causes, but they may also lose interest very quickly. These people will excel in leadership roles in their social circles. They may be the lead. Somebody says we want to go to a picnic or something. This person will immediately say, we can go there, we can do this, let's do this, let's do that. They may take up the situation leadership role also in social circle. These people will also be the first people to help friends. Sometimes even give unsolicited advice, unsolicited help also. So these people have to learn when to get involved very, very deeply and when to let go. So Mars in the 11th house will bring in a lot of ambitious goals also through your networking ability. So the person will seek opportunities for advancements in their career, both professionally as well as personally. They will also want to build a strong network of friends or supporters who will help them to pursue their goals also and overcome objectives or overcome obstacles to achieve the objective. This is also about how you are managing challenges in the social membrane or the social network. So this is a placement also where sometimes you may have potential conflicts within your social circle, sometimes of your own doing, sometimes because of people doing something behind your back. So the individual surely will encounter challenges related to overly being assertive in their social circles, or when there are disagreements with others. So they really have to temper that down. So overall, it's important to manage the assertiveness and competitiveness to maintain harmonious relationship with friends and associates and in the social network. Now, when Mars goes into the 12th house from Saturn, which means Saturn is in the second house from Mars. Now, what is Saturn? Saturn is your commitment, your loyalty, your hard work, your karma, organized effort, disciplined efforts. It is working with or dealing with people of the lowest strata of society. It is stagnation, slowness. It is also working for social causes, societal norms. It is also about being of service to others. What is the 12th house? 12th house is losses, expenses, waste, expenditure, spirituality, also foreign lands, working individually, working in isolation, solitude, hospitals, clinics. It is also multinational corporations. It is armed forces, foreign clients, foreign work, charity, letting go, donations. It is also a spiritual elevation also. What is Mars? Mars is your killer instinct. It is your goal-getting ability. It is competitiveness. It is power struggle. It is also your anger and temper issues. But it is also problem-solving and healing ability also. It is also about how strong your willpower is. So when Mars goes into the 12th from Saturn, and Saturn is into the second house from Mars, which means on the subconscious level, these people have a lot of energy to be able to operate beneath the surface. So at any given point of time, there's something or the other happening in the subconscious. They're always trying to solve some or the other problem, trying to overcome some or the other challenges. Mostly sometimes my effort is not giving me good results. What should I do? My money is going waste. Sometimes these people have more expenses than they save money or they earn. So that struggle will always be there. So there will be a lot of energy and motivation which will fuel the actions and the ambition also. Sometimes others may not be able to see how much energy these people bring in to the relationship, to their work, to their commitment also. But there's a lot of purpose through how they are spending that energy. Even when they are rushing into danger or rushing into goals or rushing into something that they want to take as responsibility. So this is a placement where the person has a lot of hidden potential, hidden conflicts. There may be adversaries who are working behind your back also. So you have to deal with those challenges most subtly. Sometimes from unknown enemies also, where you may also face betrayals or deceit. So this is really important that you be very calm in how you deal with competition or outsiders, or those people who are challenging you. And so you have to be a little more vigilant and trust your intuition also, because it's a 12th house, and not purely go by hearsay. of what the person is saying, but use your gut feeling also. This can also be a good placement where the person is more spiritual rather than being religious. So these people may be drawn to spiritual practices, meditation, transcendental experiences also. They may find a lot of peace and inspiration in their solitude and benefit from activities where they are individual and they are alone, away from a lot of challenges which can be happening around them. So through sheer hard work, dedication, knowing their spirituality, donating, being charitable, holding back your horses when expenses are there, then overall, through effort, through charity, through spiritual practices, this can also be a very good approach to having a good spiritual elevation as well. So friends, now that we have seen how Mars in different houses from Saturn can bring different potential, different situation, different challenges, different opportunities as well, do check in which house Mars is placed from Saturn in your horoscope. Also look at what yogas or doshas or other things are also bringing in the dynamics and bringing that other flavors also into the equation. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, you can reach out to me at the links given below. Till some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.